I never thought I'd be writing this post, but I need to get this off my chest. I, 34F, have been married to my husband Dave, 36M, for 8 years. Our relationship had been mostly good. We both have successful careers, a beautiful home, and what I thought was mutual respect and understanding. But over the past couple of years, I felt something was missing. The spark, the excitement, it just wasn't there anymore. I'd been reading about ethical non-monogamy and polyamory, and it resonated with me. I joined some online communities, read books, and became convinced that opening our marriage could bring back that excitement while maintaining our foundation. Dave and I had always prided ourselves on our communication, so I figured he'd at least be willing to discuss it. Our 8th anniversary seemed like the perfect occasion. I made reservations at our favorite restaurant, bought a new dress, and prepared what I thought was a thoughtful presentation about why opening our marriage could benefit us both. The evening started perfectly. Dave gave me a beautiful bracelet, and I gave him an expensive watch I knew he'd been eyeing. The food was delicious, the wine flowing, and when dessert arrived, I decided it was time. Dave, I've been thinking about our relationship. I began, taking his hand across the table. I love you so much, and I think we have something special. But I wonder if we could make it even better. He smiled, looking intrigued. What do you have in mind? I've been reading about open marriages, I said, trying to keep my voice steady. I think it could bring some excitement back for both of us. We'd still be each other's primary partners, but we could explore connections with others too. His smile vanished. He withdrew his hand. You want to sleep with other people? On our anniversary? It's not just about sex, I explained, pulling out my phone to show him some articles I'd saved. It's about emotional growth, new experiences. So you want emotional relationships with other men too? His voice was rising. People at nearby tables glanced our way. Lower your voice, I whispered. And it wouldn't just be me. You could see other women too. I don't want other women, he nearly shouted. I married you. I want you. The waiter approached cautiously, but Dave waved him away. Have you already cheated on me? He demanded. Is that what this is about? No, I insisted. This is about being honest and open. I haven't done anything. Yet, he added coldly. You haven't done anything yet. He threw his napkin on the table and stood up. I'm going to pay the bill. I suggest you figure out whether you're still committed to this marriage by the time I get back. I sat there, stunned. This wasn't how I'd envisioned the conversation going at all. When Dave returned, he didn't look at me, just jerked his head toward the exit. The drive home was silent and tense. Little did I know that night would be the beginning of the most humiliating and devastating period of my life. Dave's revenge would be calculated, patient, and ultimately destroy everything I thought I knew about our relationship. That night, Dave slept in the guest room. I tried to talk to him several times over the next few days, but he was cold and distant, saying he needed time to think. After a week of this treatment, he finally approached me, seeming calmer. I've been processing what you said, he told me. And while I was initially upset, I think maybe I overreacted. Relief flooded through me. Really? I'm so glad. I never meant to hurt you. I know, he said with a smile that didn't quite reach his eyes. And I've been doing my own research. Maybe we should try this open marriage idea of yours. I was surprised by his change of heart, but thrilled. We spent the evening discussing boundaries and rules. Always be honest, practice safe sex, home by midnight unless previously agreed, and our marriage remained the priority. 2 weeks later, Dave mentioned he had a date. I felt a twinge of jealousy, but reminded myself this was what I wanted. He dressed nicely and left with a quick kiss on my cheek. I tried distracting myself with TV, but kept checking my phone. Around 11, he texted that he wouldn't be home until morning. That sleepless night was harder than I'd anticipated. When Dave returned, looking disheveled but happy, he was vague about details. It went well, was all he said. Soon, Dave was going out 3 nights a week. I downloaded dating apps, but found the experience disappointing. The men I matched with were either looking for hookups or became disinterested when I mentioned my open marriage. Meanwhile, Dave seemed to have no trouble finding company. After a month, I still hadn't gone on a single date while Dave was regularly seeing someone named Amber. My jealousy intensified when I noticed changes in him. New clothes, a different cologne, working out more often. When I tried discussing my feelings, he reminded me, this was your idea, remember? Things deteriorated further when Dave began taking weekend trips with Amber. One Friday, after he left, I broke down and called my friend Melissa, who came over with wine. After my tearful explanation, she looked uncomfortable. There's something you should know, she said hesitantly. Dave's been posting about this on social media. Posting what? She showed me his Instagram, which I rarely checked. There were dozens of photos of Dave with a gorgeous blonde, restaurants, beaches, even a cabin in the mountains. The captions were worse. Finally living my best life. And when someone gives you permission to find true happiness. Comments from our friends and family ranged from confusion to outright criticism of me. Dave had apparently told everyone this was all my idea, without explaining that it was supposed to be mutual. The final blow came when I discovered Dave had joined a private Facebook group for our neighborhood. He'd shared our entire story, painting himself as the devoted husband whose wife wanted to sleep around. So he was giving her a taste of her own medicine. Neighbors I barely knew were commenting with laughing emojis and congratulating him on his revenge. When confronted, Dave didn't deny anything. "You wanted an open marriage," he said coldly. "I'm just embracing it more successfully than you are." I realized then that this wasn't about exploration or growth for him. This was calculated punishment, and it was far from over. Things came to a head 3 months after our anniversary. Dave had stopped even pretending to follow our rules. He no longer checked in when he'd be home late, and occasionally, I'd wake up to find he hadn't come home at all. One evening, Dave announced he was hosting a dinner party the following weekend. "Just a small gathering with friends," he said casually. "You should be there." I was surprised, but hopeful this might be a step toward reconciliation. Maybe he wanted to show everyone we were still a united front despite our arrangement. I spent the week cleaning the house, planning the menu with him, and even bought a new outfit. Saturday arrived, and guests began showing up, mostly Dave's friends from work and the gym, plus a few couples we knew. And then Amber walked in. She was even more stunning in person, tall, blonde, at least 5 years younger than me. Dave greeted her with a passionate kiss right in our foyer. The evening was a masterclass in humiliation. Dave and Amber acted like the hosts, while I was treated as an awkward guest in my own home. They shared inside jokes, finished each other's sentences, and Dave kept finding excuses to touch her, brushing her hair back, hand on her lower back, kissing her shoulder. During dinner, Dave stood to make a toast. "I want to thank everyone for coming tonight," he began. "Especially my wife, who recently taught me the value of exploring new relationships." There were uncomfortable chuckles around the table. "And of course, I want to thank Amber," he continued, "who's shown me what I've been missing all these years." The coup de grace came when someone asked how Dave and Amber met. Dave grinned. "Actually, Amber and I have known each other for years. She works in my building. We always had chemistry, but I never acted on it because, well, I was married." He looked directly at me. "But when my wife suggested opening our marriage on our anniversary, I decided to finally see if there was something real between Amber and me." Several guests gasped. One of our friends whispered, "On your anniversary?" After everyone left, I confronted Dave. "This was never about an open marriage for you," I said through tears. "This was about punishing me." "You're right," he admitted without remorse. "I wanted you to feel what I felt that night. The humiliation, the rejection, the sense that 8 years meant nothing." "I never rejected you," I protested. "I wanted us both to explore." "I never wanted that," he interrupted. "I wanted you. Only you." But clearly, I wasn't enough. 2 days later, I came home to find Dave packing his clothes. "I'm moving in with Amber," he announced. "I've already spoken to a lawyer. The house will have to be sold." That was 6 weeks ago. Now I'm living in a small apartment while divorce proceedings begin. Our friends have largely taken Dave's side, and I've become something of a neighborhood pariah, the selfish wife who destroyed her marriage by wanting more. The irony isn't lost on me. I suggested opening our marriage because I feared missing out on experiences, but I never wanted to lose what we had. Dave's revenge wasn't just sleeping with someone else. It was systematically dismantling the foundation of trust and respect our relationship was built on, making sure everyone knew it was my fault, and then walking away with the moral high ground. I'm not writing this for sympathy or validation. I'm sharing because I've learned the hard way that suggesting an open relationship isn't just about exploring new connections. It can be perceived as the ultimate rejection. What I viewed as an enhancement, Dave saw as an insurmountable betrayal. And his revenge wasn't just brutal. It was meticulously planned to cause maximum damage to my heart, my pride, and my reputation.